Today we've traveled to Carthage, Missouri to meet equine veterinarian Dr. Katie Sisk. And I believe we're going to witness some dentistry, sports medicine, and maybe even some chiropractic work. So Katie, I understand that you just opened up your practice here in Carthage earlier in 2020, March.
Yeah.
So how did you get started in equine medicine?
Yeah. Well, I picked a super great time, March of 2020 to open up a brand new business. But, well, I grew up riding horses, so I always had a passion for horsework, specifically rehabilitation as well as sports medicine, because I had spent a lot of time with performance horses. So when we moved to Southwest Missouri and I was younger and in high school, I really realized that there was a need for a good specialized equine veterinarian because unfortunately as owners we had to become very self-sufficient.
Yeah, do it yourself.
Because there wasn't somebody to help us. So that's what inspired me to go to vet school, and it's kind of been a long-term dream and goal of mine to return back to this area and be able to serve not only myself and my friends, but also other people in this area and give them good quality veterinary care for their horses. We do see appointments here at the clinic, so we've kind of remodeled this one barn on our property that we are able to keep in patients for horses that need more extensive care. So I have a couple that are staying with us right now. And then people do haul in here for appointments, and that makes it nice and easy for us to have a good facility where we can see things.
Well, I think your first appointment is here, so let's go check them out.
All right, sounds great.
So first appointment of the day is?
So this is Rotten. So he's a fun little gelding that we get to do a little bit of work on, and what we're actually doing on him today is floating his teeth. So horses' teeth are a little bit different than our teeth in that they are continuously erupting or growing. So they actually will develop sharp points both on the outsides of their top teeth and the insides of their bottom teeth. And when they're in the wild and eating forage and rough material all the time, they tend to grind those points down a little bit better. So since we have domesticated the horses, we have to help them out with that. So it's important for a horse to have their teeth checked. Usually about twice a year is what I recommend. Okay. Typically, we're only actually doing the floating process about once a year. So what we'll do is first start off doing a physical exam of him, then we'll actually give him a little bit of sedation. So then we'll actually put him in a speculum, and then we have a device called a float, which is like a Dremel on a long stick, essentially. So this is the float that we actually use. So it's battery powered and really light, and it's overall pretty quiet. So it doesn't bother the horses.
You're not having to manually.
Exactly. Really, the hand floating has actually kind of become a little outdated, so they don't even teach you.
I remember watching my grandpa do it with his horses. He had foxtrotters when I was a little girl, and that would be my experience.
Exactly. So they actually don't even teach you in vet school any longer how to use hand floats. Everything has gone to power tools pretty much. So there's still some people that do a really nice job with hand floats, but it's becoming less and less accessible. We find that you just do a little less damage to the mouth if you know how to appropriately use the power tools. And they just tend to like it a little better than someone jamming a rasp in their mouth.
I totally understand.
So what we're going to be doing on this guy today, he has a tendon and ligament injury of his right hind. So he's coming here today to get shockwave therapy, which is a therapy that will help to heal the leg. And then we're also going to be injecting some regenerative medicine called platelet-rich plasma into his leg that will also help with the healing process.
Okay, is that the plasma taken from him?
Yes. Okay. So we're going to harvest blood from him, spin it down in some special canisters and a centrifuge, and then the product that results from that spin down is what we're actually going to inject back into his leg.
Interesting.
So what we're doing here is Sarah has prepared his neck with a sterile scrub for where we're going to poke him to collect blood on him. And I'm putting just an anticoagulant into this syringe. So when we're pulling the blood, it doesn't clot. And then we are going to put it into this little device here, which it looks, simple and not very complex, but we'll put this device into the centrifuge and spin it down, and then the product that we get from this spun down canister will be what we actually can inject around his injured tendons and ligaments. So this is basically what that canister looks like after it's been spun down.
Oh, so this is the injectable part.
Yeah, so it's actually this
The middle.
little layer right here. So see how it's kind of like white? Those are actually the platelets.
Okay.
So this top,
So what is, okay, you're
yeah,
gonna tell us.
this top part is basically like a platelet pore serum or plasma. And then this really dark red part is actually your red blood cells. So a little bit how I start both my lameness exams and my chiropractic and acupuncture exams is I start off by going over their acupuncture points and meridians. Basically just looking for sensitivity in his body. You can see how he drops a little bit there. When I go down his left side, see how he really doesn't care about that. So a lot of times what that is an indication of is that sacrum is shifted a little bit right to left. So when you're pushing it more into that luxation, they don't appreciate it. So that's why they curl up.
Katie, we're not even halfway through your day yet, and we've already seen a lot. So tell me why you do what you do.
Yeah, I guess why I like what I do so much is I really like helping horses. I really like helping the people that own the horses and just making sure that they're as comfortable as they possibly can be for any job that their owners are asking of them. And it's just kind of cool. You never know what's gonna happen that day. You never know quite what you're gonna see. So you're always problem solving and having something new. So definitely never gets old.
Well, I learned so much from you today.
Yeah.
Where can people learn more about you and come visit you?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, this is Cadence Sports Medicine and Rehab. You want to check us out and a little bit about us. Probably Facebook is the easiest way to do that. So we have a pretty interactive Facebook page where we try to post a lot of cool and interesting things. So that would be probably the best way. And then if you want to schedule an appointment or anything like that, contacting me probably via call or text is the fastest way to do that. So my number is 417-388-0303. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. And yeah, I'm always happy to help and see what we can do for people.